In all its decades, the NBA has had some very emotional moments where players went out of the way to make their teams proud or displayed a superhuman level of skill. Today, we are going to be looking at some of the most iconic moments in the NBA that fans will never ever forget. Tmac, 13 points in 33 seconds. What better way to start this list than with Tracy McGrady's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime performance? It was December 9, 2004, and the Rockets were fighting for their lives against the Spurs, who had a 12-point lead. The Rockets had only 33 seconds left with two options: go home or go wild. With Tmac at the helm, they did the unthinkable. Tmac scored a mind-blowing 13 points in 33 seconds to lead his team to a sweet victory with a 1-point margin. In those 33 seconds, McGrady averaged .39 points per second. The 2004-2005 season was not McGrady's peak era. From a mathematical point of view, the chances of him making 4 consecutive buckets within such a short time were very low. Yet, it was the season that would make him a basketball legend for generations to come. Our next iconic moment is another instance of a player scoring an insane number of points. Wilt 100 points game. This was not fiction. It happened during a real-life NBA match with a real-life NBA player. Wilt Chamberlain went wild in March 1962. He poured 100 points in just one game against the New York Knicks, leading the Warriors to a 169-147 victory. He is not called the Big Dipper for no reason. Chamberlain was in a pretty solid position entering the game. That season, his stat line was over the roof, with an average of 50.4 points and 25.7 rebounds per game on 50.6% shooting. He also shot a career high of 61.3%. At the end of the first half, Chamberlain had dropped 41 points. The fans started chanting, "Give it to Wilt!" His teammates were happy to oblige. They started force-feeding him the ball from the third quarter, and he ended up with 59 points by the buzzer. The only person that has come close to this iconic performance is Kobe, with his 81 points against the Raptors. Kobe, 81 points. Kobe was a beast, and the 2006 season is one time when he displayed just how badass he was. In the January 22 game, Kobe dropped a staggering 81 points on the Raptors' heads. What makes it even more unbelievable is that at halftime, Kobe had only 26 points. Impressive, but not godlike yet. He scored 55 points in the second half, becoming the second highest point scored in one game. Only Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points stand ahead of Kobe's 81 points. Kobe's stellar performance that night led the Lakers to a 122-104 win against the Raptors. He scored 28 of 46 from the floor, 7 of 13 from the three-point range, and 18 of 20 from the foul line. It was such an emotional moment that fans at the Staples Center gave him a standing ovation with 4.2 seconds remaining, chanting MVP. Even Kobe couldn't believe what he had just done. In the post-game interview, he said, "To sit here and say I grasp what happened, that would be lying, not even in my dreams." Cavs' 3-1 comeback win over Warriors. The 2016 NBA Finals was a beauty to watch, a study in resilience and team spirit. The Warriors had a 3-1 lead by Game 4, and usually a team in the Cavs' position would be convinced they had already lost the championship. But that season, the Cavs defied the odds. With LeBron and Kyrie Irving on board, the Cavs had extra 40 points that helped them win Game 5. Game 6 brought both teams to a tie, with James dropping 41 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. The smug smirk had been wiped off of the Warriors' faces, and each team came to Game 7 knowing they were there to fight to the death. At 53 seconds to the buzzer, both teams had a tie. Then Irving delivered the dagger three-pointer and brought the crown home for the Cavs. The Cleveland Cavaliers became the first team to overcome a 3-1 deficit in the finals and the fourth team to come back from a 2-0 deficit. To the Warriors' credit, their star player Draymond Green was suspended from Game 5, but no team that had a 3-1 deficit had ever had LeBron on board, so chances are the Cavs would have won regardless. MJ's last shot, June 14, 1998, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The timer says 5.2 seconds left till game over. The Bulls desperately need one more bucket to win the game. Then, in a display of pure art, MJ shoots a 17-footer and brings the Bulls to an 87-86 lead. Just when everyone thought the flu game would be MJ's best performance, he stunned the world with a picture-perfect ending. And of course, he was the Finals MVP. Even though MJ later returned to play basketball, his iconic last shot before his temporary retirement will never be forgotten. Giannis 50-point Game 6 NBA Championship. Milwaukee Bucks fans will never forget Giannis Antetokounmpo for helping the team scale through the tough battle with the Phoenix Suns and win the franchise's first NBA title in 50 years and their second in history. Along with his decisive 50 points, Giannis handed out 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 2 assists. He shot 16 of 25 from the field and 17 of 19 from the free throw line. Giannis was really a great freak that night. Magic Johnson's Skyhook vs. Celtics. The Lakers started the 1987 NBA Finals strong, torching the Celtics in the first 2 games. But then the Celtics rallied a resounding comeback in Game 3. By the third quarter of Game 4, it looked like they would win. Magic Johnson was not going to let that happen. With 2 seconds left, Johnson swished a three-pointer through a perfectly executed skyhook that shot the Lakers straight to a 3-1 series lead. The Celtics put up a fight in Game 5 and won, but they were no match for the Lakers' ferocity in Game 6. The Lakers won their 4th championship in the Showtime era. Iverson Crosses Mj. It is not every day you hear of a rookie crossing an NBA legend, which is what Iverson did to his airness in a 1997 game at what was then called the Core State Center. The Sixers drafted 21-year-old Iverson as their number 1 rookie overall. He would later set an NBA rookie record with 5 straight games of 40-plus points, but that night, he was just a 6-foot guard from Georgetown facing 33-year-old Michael Jordan, a basketball legend. Even though the Sixers eventually lost the game, that moment when Iverson crossed over MJ was a top-tier moment that neither of them will ever forget. Dr. J's swooping baseline layup. Julius Irving's career was undoubtedly filled with many spectacular moments, but we cannot talk about him without remembering his iconic baseline scoop layup. In Game 4 of the NBA Finals that season, Dr. J drove around Mark Landsberger and evaded Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He proceeded to drop the most daring layup in NBA history that stunned everyone into silence, swooping from under the backboard, extending the ball over the out-of-bounds line, and bouncing it off the glass for the score. It was nothing like they had ever seen, and it remains one of the greatest displays of excellence in the NBA today. Kobe to Shaq lob. And finally, we have Kobe Bryant's legendary alley-oop to Shaq O'Neal in Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals. Of all the brilliant Kobe-Shaq alley-oops that made the early 2000s memorable, this one is the most iconic. The Lakers had a 3-1 lead but dropped the next 2 games, leading to a tie at Game 6. At the start of Game 7's fourth quarter, The Lakers were down 15 points. Then Kobe and Shaq rallied 43 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists to lead the Lakers to an 89-84 victory against the Trail Blazers. The game made history as the greatest start of fourth-quarter comeback in a Game 7 NBA playoff victory. The Lakers moved on to the NBA Finals and defeated the Indiana Pacers to win their first championship in 12 years. And those are the top 10 most memorable moments in the NBA. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below.